And the rain has held off in the last hour or so, and a couple of big NFC Central battles earlier today. First of all, the Green Bay Packers on the road in Cincinnati as Brett Favre hits Robert Brooks with his first quarter touchdown, and the Packers went on to win 13-6. And the Minnesota Vikings going against the Detroit Lions, and Randy Moss on the receiving end of a Randall Cunningham touchdown. So the two teams that were undefeated in the division are still unbeaten, as Minnesota leading Detroit handily and late in the fourth quarter. The Packers defeated Cincinnati. The Jets rebounding from last week's loss, defeating the Colts. Miami will remain undefeated if they go on to hold on against the Steelers. In a dogfight, Buffalo leading St. Louis 31-28. Kansas City also in a comeback win could administer the Chargers' first defeat of the season, and New England defeating Tennessee 27-16. And Mark McGwire hit his 65th home run today in Milwaukee. Now we're set to go. The Chicago Bears have won the toss. Michael Houston will be kicking off. Lynn Milburn and Robert Chansey are back deep for the Bears, and it'll be Milburn from the 2. And Milburn stopped just as he gets to the 20-yard line. And the Bears getting the ball first. Eric Kramer, who's had good success against Tampa Bay as a quarterback with the Bears, with a 4-1 career record as a starter. Up front, it's Heck, Perry, Wegman, Valerio, and the big cat James Williams. Starting in the backfield will be Edgar Bennett and Ty Halleck, but we'll see Curtis Enos in the second series. Conway and Ingram, the wide receivers, and the rookie Alonzo Mays, the tight end. First down on the 20, Edgar Bennett going in motion, and the handoff is to Robert Chansey, and he gets about a yard. Defensively for the Buccaneers, and their defensive line played well against the Packers in the losing cause last week, sparked by Warren Sapp, who had 2 sacks against Brett Favre. Gooch, Nickerson, and Brooks, 3 speedy linebackers. And the secondary, Donnie Abraham and Anthony Parker, the corners. Charles Mincy and John Lynch are the safeties. Second down and 8. Kramer getting a rush up the middle, and the screen pass to Bennett, and he's tackled, and a fine play by Donnie Abraham, and that'll bring up 3rd and long for Chicago.
You know, you watch this Tampa Bay thing, they talked about it at the start of the game. What's different, not running game, all this stuff, you know, no speed. The one thing they have to have in their recipe for success is good defense. And the way they get that done is run to the football. They have great team speed, and their defensive line really has to control the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 10 on the 20-yard line. 3 wide receivers as Chris Penn, number 86, comes in. Pressure, and the ball is tipped away. Regan Upshaw got his hands on the ball.
He had a shot. That was 6. They were going to run a screen, and Sapp was able to get pressure inside. They're going to let him go, and then they've got to get the ball up, and Regan Upshaw comes over and almost has himself a pick.
That would have been a critical error early on. Todd Sauerbrunn will be kicking, and Carl Williams returning. Jacquez Green, who returned the punt 95 yards for a touchdown against the Packers, out of action.
Nice goal for Chicago.
And they will down it inside the 20-yard line. So Sauerbrunn, who punted for over 50 yards against the Steelers last week, does another fine job. Off to a good start. 61 yards on that kick.
He didn't hit it good, but he got himself one of those major league goals.
Yes, he did. So Trent Dilfer coming out to lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and a lot of people point to the quarterback when the Buccaneers do not do much offensively. But as Matt pointed out, they've got to get Warrick Dunn primarily, and Mike Allstott going in the running game. First down on the 19-yard line. And here is Warrick Dunn trying to test the middle of the Bear line, and he picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Trent Dilfer, 2-5 is his record as a starter against the Chicago Bears. Gruber, Diaz, Mayberry, Middleton, and Odeman, they were tested a week ago in Green Bay. Riddell Anthony and Carl Williams are the wide receivers. Dave Moore the tight end, and they will miss the speed of both Bert Emanuel and Jacquez Green. 2nd and 6. Again, it's Warrick Dunn, and he bounces off a defender, and Warrick Dunn short of the first down. Barry Minter prevents the first down. Will bring up 3rd down. Very elusive running back is Warrick Dunn. Defensively for the Chicago Bears, Sean Lee, the ex-Buccaneer, Mike Wells, who came over from Detroit, with Flanagan and Theory, Harris, Minter, who just made the last play, with Ricardo McDonald. And in the secondary, Marty Carter, the ex-Tampa Bay player, and Tony Parrish, a rookie, starting at free safety. 3rd down and 3. Bryce Hunter, number 88, the 3rd wide receiver for Tampa Bay. Short drop, and the pass overthrown, intended for Hunter, and that will bring up 4th down.
And he had it too. That was a better thrown ball. That was a first down, because Tampa Bay was able to do what they want to do today. They want to create 3rd and short, and it's the same thing that the Chicago Bears want to do offensively. You're really looking at a mirror game today. Both these offenses kind of the same, and their game plans are kind of the same.
And both teams would have to get the running game going, as Glenn Milburn is back deep, as Tommy Barnhart getting set to kick. End over end, and Milburn has some room here at the 32-yard line. Glenn Milburn trying to turn the corner, and a fine bit of running by Glenn Milburn, the former Lion, who was with Green Bay and now winds up in Chicago. A 13-yard return. Good field position for the Bears when we come back. Back here in Tampa, and this is a field position kind of game.
It's a field. Look at the size of the head on that thing. Now, I don't know who that is, but based on this dental work right here, that's a former NFL player. Didn't wear his mouthpiece. I played with guys look like that.
Looked like he saw you coming. The Bears first down on their 46-yard line, so they benefited in the exchange on the field position after the punt. And Kramer was hit as he lets go of the ball. Edgar Bennett was the intended receiver.
Now you look at this Chicago Bear offense, and the one thing they should be solid, and they are, I think, is in that offensive line. You look at them, you got Big Cat Williams, the whole group right across. They played together a whole year, except for the center. Everybody is on the same page, and you can really see that they're well coached. And when that guy gets in there, Curtis Enis, they look like they're even more better coached.
A running back like Curtis Enis with his talent will do that. 2nd and 10, a short drop and good pressure, and the pass intended for Ingram overthrown, but good pressure being put on Brad Culpepper, among others, getting in on Eric Kramer.
Yeah, they just got done talking about Chicago Bear offensive line, and Culpepper has something to say about that now. Chidi Hanatu in the first pass hit Kramer. Here's the second pass. Culpepper just working, just a simple arm over. Just goes right around again, is able to get pressure, and Kramer is feeling that stuff inside. This guy Culpepper never gets enough credit, because he's one of those guys always around the football.
3 wide receivers, and right now the Bear offensive line's got to really bear down against the front 4 of Tampa Bay. 3rd down, and Kramer's pass, and it's caught at the 40-yard line by Ingram. Bobby Ingram, who had a career-high 54-yard touchdown reception against Pittsburgh, picks up 14 and a first down.
Well, take a guess why they can get this ball off. See right here, they're going to make sure that they're double-teaming Warren Sapp. And because of that, he gets the time to be able to throw, and then Ingram can work down the field. You see the time, find the hole in that zone, and it's simple. You give him time, he'll make the throw.
And a first down for the Bears on the Tampa Bay 40. 2 tight ends with Mays and Ryan Wetnight in the lineup, and the handoff is to Edgar Bennett, the former Packer, who ultimately will be used as a 3rd down back, as Dave Wanstead telling us yesterday that it may be another game or so before he will start Curtis Enis, and once he's in the lineup, you won't see him out of there, I'm sure.
Well, he's in right now, and Edgar Bennett is going to kind of get caught up in the Curtis Enis watch, because Enis is special. Edgar Bennett's a fine player, but this kid here, he's got a chance to be special.
He has averaged 5 yards a carry, gets the call, and there is Enis, and that's the kind of ability he has to find the holes.
Tony Dungy told me yesterday that Curtis Enis reminds him of Earl Campbell. And you can see the start. Not a bad start. You know, these two guys, they weren't bad. Gale Sayers and Walter Payton.
He's dwarfed them, hasn't he?
And he's
first 2 games.
What he does so well is he pushes the hole and he pushes the point.
3rd down and 4. He goes out, does Enis. And Edgar Bennett comes back in. 3 wide receivers lined up to the right. And it's a running play, and it's Edgar Bennett, and Bennett will get the first down. Good call by the Bears. Charles Mincy making the tackle. They set 3 wide receivers to the right and pick up 7 yards to about the 27.
Yeah, they spread them out, and then they give Edgar Bennett the run inside. And what they want to try to do is get as many defenders outside here as they can. So they lessen it in here, and then they just come in and make the play. I got to tell you something. I like Edgar Bennett more in 32 than 34. He looks good in the 32.
Slimmer, doesn't he?
He looks good in the 32.
And you don't mean size.
No, that's a good number for him.
1st down and 10 at the 27. Enis back in there and trying to go around the outside. Shakes off one defender, still on his feet. And Curtis Enis gets another Chicago 1st down inside the 15-yard line. And a gain of 14 yards as Parker missed the initial tackle.
Well, you're going to get a lot of tackles that are missed on 39 Enis. First thing you're going to see is Robert Chancey gets himself a block, and then Valerio gets one right there. And then this is what the Bears will try to do. See, they'll seal everybody off and try to get that 245-pound Enis on a defensive back, and that's a mismatch.
Enis has gained 84 yards, over 4.5 yards per carry on 1st down. Now an audible call by Kramer. And a play fake. Kramer's pass off the hands of Enis. So, well, that is Chancey, that is Robert Chancey, the fullback, and that will bring up 2nd down.
How about this Robert Chancey? There's something they said just fell into their lap. You know, the last time he played football prior to last year was in high school. And then he went to play in the Mets farm system. And then he got sick of that and came out, and then he went with the Chargers. And he's got some real skills. He's about 6 foot, maybe a little shorter, about 250 pounds. And he's got a big future.
He has a big future in the same backfield with Enis. This is the 9th play of the drive. And the handoff up the middle to Curtis Enis. And Enis gets inside the 10. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 for the Bears. Good ball control by Chicago on this possession.
And this is what they want to try to get done. They're just going to try to push the point inside. This is what Enis does so well. See, he sees it, now he pushes it. Now he forces you to come to him. He ain't looking for anybody to run into, but if you happen to get in his way, welcome to the NFL.
So Edgar Bennett back in at 3rd down as Enis goes out. Rondy Barber is the nickel cornerback with 3 wide receivers. 3rd down and 5. And there's the pass. And it was intended for Chris Penn, and covering him well was Anthony Parker, and nowhere to go with that toss.
Very nice job, Dick. That's a good call by you on Anthony Parker, because what he does, he's going to take body position, hold the inside, now use the sideline. See, the sideline says it's incomplete. So you use your body and you force him wide, and so you get yourself an extra defender.
So Jeff Jager will attempt a 26-yard field goal. He is 5 of 6 so far this year. Trying to get Chicago the early lead, and the kick is up. It's good. And so the Bears, who had good field position, control the ball well. And Jager's field goal gives Chicago a 3-0 lead. We'll be right back. Bears lead 3-0. Curtis Enis averaged 8 yards a carry in 3 rushes. Jeff Jager's 26-yard field goal giving the Bears a 3-0 lead after an impressive 11-play scoring drive. And now Todd Sauerbrunn will be kicking off. Riddell Anthony is deep for the Buccaneers. It's end over end, and Anthony on the run fields it on the 11-yard line. Riddell Anthony looking for running room. And finally brought down with a one-arm tackle by John Mangum, the veteran from the Bears secondary. A 23-yard return by Anthony. And we'll be right back to Tampa. 3-0 Chicago. Buccaneers continue to have their problems early in the games, and in the first half they have now been outscored this season 40-0 in the first half. They have turned it over 3 times. They've turned it over twice in the red zone to